right, here we go. Welcome to a very late edition of our Hockey After Hour. Um, with us tonight, also it's episode 16. With us tonight is Ron, who goes by on both Reddit and Twitter, Tumblr, pretty much all over the internet as Ron in a Box. Uh, also with us tonight, filling in, is Amanda, who goes by on Reddit Saturday Night Riot and on Twitter at Fabuloshi. And I'm
Yo,
Andrew.
how did you come up with that name? What a funny name. It's very
Who
funny.
came up with that name?
Yeah, who came up with that name? I'm curious.
Wasn't it Blake?
No, it's
I'm
wrong.
gonna murder you in your sleep. I'm gonna murder you in your sleep, Andrew. I'm gonna murder you in your sleep.
Oh, okay.
When this podcast is over and you like try and tuck yourself into bed, I'm gonna like creep up from behind the John Tavares poster and stab you with a knife.
How do you know I have a John
Back
Tavares
into the-
poster?
I just
didn't know it was that
assumed.
serious.
Oh, because I don't have a John Tavares poster.
I bet it's even worse. I bet it's a Rick DiPietro poster.
Yes, actually, I don't have
Knew
it. And I'm Andrew, and I go by on Reddit APAD and on Twitter at Andrew Paddock. So let's get the ball rolling and dive right into it. We have a Stanley Cup final.
Starting in 2 days. Well, technically one, because it is Tuesday.
Yes, it is, and it is.
Which is
East
another
Coast.
reminder that we're late. Oops.
We're not late. Everyone's just early.
Yes. The internet was just
No, we are.
a problem.
We are, after all, an after-hour podcast,
There
so
was traffic
we
on the
are
way.
after hours. Like, they're doubly after hours. Yeah. Kings, Rangers, how about that?
It's like the two biggest markets, and it's probably Gary Bettman's wet dream.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I don't know why. I mean, I thought hockey ended Thursday. It
Wow.
did, right?
I kind of wish Ben was here, because I want to hear all of Ben's sad post-Game 7 thoughts.
Oh, about the Blackhawks. Yeah, that's. Aw, damn it!
Yeah.
Why can't he be here? Damn it, Ben!
As someone
What I
who-
will say is that I hope to God there aren't any Blackhawk fans that finished watching the game last night and said, "Man, that was a bad game. I'm sad now. Maybe watching Game of Thrones would cheer me up." Because if they tried to do that, that did not work at all.
As someone
I'm
who
saying
grew up
this
in
as-
Chicago and has pretended to care, no, I can't see anyone pretending that they would be like, that's a bad game, I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones and be happy.
I don't.
I'm
watch
just
Game of
saying, if
Thrones, but I
anyone
heard
saw
that
that
was a
last
brutal
night,
episode.
not to not give away any spoilers, but just
Game of
You ever
Thrones is
watch the
literally
show
like
and just
watching
forget?
your team being eliminated, basically.
Do you ever just watch something and forget that you're watching it? Like, you watch Game of Thrones and you forget you're watching Game of Thrones and you don't expect bad things to happen, but then bad things happen anyway?
No,
Yeah.
because it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Uh,
Seriously, like last night when I was trying to watch like the game, my brother was hogging the HD TV, so I said, okay, whatever, I'll watch a Game of Thrones and I'll switch back to the game. And then the show ended, and I was shell-shocked, and I tried watching the game, and I watched the game, but I didn't really watch the game because... shit. That's all I gotta say. But yes, like the actual upcoming series, Kings and Rangers will be probably a very good one. We did get a couple of questions, all from Paceform or at Peak of Good Living on Twitter. We got a couple of questions all related to that.
Oh, I feel like they might have to do with certain last name that is Stahl.
Hmm.
Oh, oh, I guess that one sort of is related, but not also related because there is more than one stall. But I'll start with this one then. How many stalls does it take to change a light bulb?
3 while one
You guys,
looks on, wishing he could change the light bulb.
I was gonna say if we're talking about New York, just one. If we're talking about Carolina, 3. And I think they failed to make the playoffs to change the light bulb anyway. That wasn't it?
When I went to
I just
Raleigh,
realized.
the first Hurricanes jersey I saw on a person was M Stahl ?
They just want all the stalls.
Who
They're
doesn't want
stalling
all
for.
the stalls if it was possible to have all the
I think that.
stalls? It's
They're
like
just
playing
Oh, are
stalling
they
for
trying to turn
stalls.
Monopoly.
Carolina into a bathroom? Are they trying to turn Carolina into a public bathroom?
Well, think about it. If you're playing Monopoly, you have 3 of the 4 railroads. Why not get that 4th one that instead of railroads, it's stalls?
Because no one wants the short line railroad in Monopoly.
The short line, and his name happens to be Jared.
Oh my god, that's scary.
Nice. Jared just carries the equipment around.
I'm like, man, how bad is like your inferiority complex if you are Jared Stahl? Like, man. Ah. That said, unrelated note, Phil Kessel and Amanda Kessel both have another brother who also does hockey. I think his name is Blake. And
Kessel.
I am under the impression he's also not very good.
Because he's a Blake.
Yes, he is literally called Blake.
Let's look up Mr. Blake Kessel.
Blake Kessel, born April 13th, 1989, is an American professional ice hockey defenseman who currently plays for the Rochester Americans of the AHL. He was selected by the New York Islanders in the 6th round, 166th overall of the 2007 NHL entry draft. Kessel was born to Phil and Kathy Kessel in Madison, Wisconsin. He attended the University of New Hampshire and majored in sports studies. Blake comes from a long line of professional athletes. His brother, Phil Kessel, played for the Toronto Maple Leafs of the National Hockey League. His sister, blah, 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 blah. I'm not reading all this, but
His
Phil Kessel's
Miss
dad is
Amanda
also
and
Phil
Amanda's
Kessel?
are the best.
Yep.
Hang on. How old is Phil Kessel?
Isn't he 20?
Years older. Years older. Okay.
Looking up Phil Kessel, it brought me to Jonathan Teos' brother, David Teos, who's 23. And it seems the Islanders have a habit of drafting the brothers of talented players.
Oh man, his name is Kessel. He'll be good, right? Oh my god. Like, I would like to see him do well, but that said, I can just imagine at home, at the Kessel family, in the Kessel family home, whenever someone screws up, you can just hear Phil Kessel going, "Damn it, Blake!"
Damn it, Blake, you're not living up to the family name.
I mean, what has he got? Phil's got the cookies, Amanda's got the looks. Like, what does Blake Kessel bring to the table?
Flakiness.
His name is Blake.
That's his Blakeness.
If you really wanted to be efficient when trying to refer to Blake Kessel, you could like merge his name together to be like Blake Kessel. It doesn't sound very good when you say it out loud, but if you spell it, you'll get what I'm saying. You shave off a solid 2 letters. That is very efficient. I don't know why you would ever do this. In fact, I don't know why my train of thought decided that mentioning that his name could be shortened. I don't know why I thought that.
Seems the Islanders, though, have a serious habit of drafting the brothers of star players. This is like something that's... Why can't we just draft those players instead?
Because you
Dude,
can't have nice things.
no, no, he can't.
Thank you, Garth Snow.
Hashtag Summer of Garth 2014.
You know nothing, Garth Snow.
But anyway, back to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, what are your guys' pick for this fanfare?
I hate the Kings, but I really think they're just gonna really fuck up the Rangers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will say that I think everyone was expecting that whoever came out of the Conference Finals would basically be getting the Stanley Cup. And I still think it holds true. The Kings are probably a much superior team. And seeing as they're also sort of my second team, I also do favor them a bit. But I will say that it was also really fun watching the Rangers curb stomp the Habs. Sorry, Amanda. So if the Rangers pull it off too, I wouldn't be mad about that either, seeing as they haven't won in a while as well. And I think if there was a team that could potentially pull off any upset, I would say it would probably be the team that has Henrik Lundqvist in net.
I really
That
think if
said,
Price hadn't been injured, it really would have gone a lot better. And I really think of any, or well, between the Rangers and the Habs, that I think the Habs really would have been the better team to take on the West.
but at the same time, though, I don't think that's a valid excuse when you look at how Tokarski played throughout that series, because the kid stood on his head, and say what you will about Price, but
Vanek
I
never
don't know
showed
if he
up.
can ask for much better goaltending than what Tokarski gave for the Habs.
Yeah. Even still with
'Cause
Tarkovsky, like several of their key players didn't show up in that series, like Thomas Vanek or any other main scorers, especially in the final game.
Really, with I am the biggest person to be all about Vanek. And the problem is that, the Vanek Darnay Pacioretty line was pretty much shut down by the Bruins.
Hmm.
And instead of going back to them once it came to the Rangers, Tyrion stuck with whatever the hell he's doing half the time and never went back to them. And I really think if they happened again, it would have gone a lot better.
Could have been.
Because they at least had something going. And, Vanek says, he doesn't have anything going with Canice. And he's the worst person ever for not trying.
One thing that I did, yeah, one thing that I did notice about the Rangers though is that this looks like a very similar Alain Vigneault type team. Um, Goalkeeper stands on his head a lot, sitting on a lead, relying too much on the goalkeeper in third period. Very similar to, I don't want to say the Canuck teams, but kind of looks that way sometimes.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I'm not inclined to disagree. Does seem, that seems to be the case. Yeah.
I mean, when they face a team that has actual defense, which I would think describes the Kings definitely, and would have described the Blackhawks if they were still in, compared to the Habs, where half the time I don't know what's going on because there are too many players who play on the same side.
I mean, also the Kings beat probably the three best offensive teams, and the Kings themselves are a great offensive team too. So it's something the Rangers will also have to watch out. Looking at the West, it could have been the Blackhawks, even the Ducks or Sharks, even though they got eliminated, would have put up tough fights going forward too. Um, I don't see a good outcome for the Rangers in this at all. I'm going to say Kings in 5 or 6.
That's exactly what I would think.
Yeah. They'll win
Yeah,
one
I feel
game
like
at
it would be an
least.
accurate number. But I do think it'd be totally hilarious if they went to 7 games though, just to have the Kings play 28-game playoffs.
It would be interesting to see how a team with a guy who's like 7-7-7-7 goes against Lundqvist, who seems to like excel in game sevens. Just how that would end up working towards those statistics.
Oh,
And you know what? Let's just have like a 4 overtime game 7. How about that?
oh my God, that's like that Memorial Cup game between Edmonton and Val-d'Or,
7 overtime game 7.
or like an Easter epic 7 overtimes. Pat LaFontaine comes out of nowhere and scores the winning goal, then skates off the ice. Nobody sees him again.
Or what if the game's tied and Wayne Gretzky bursts out of the stands in a LA Kings jersey, beats the shit out of Henrik Lundqvist, but instead of putting it in the net, he tears off his jersey to reveal a New York Rangers jersey and slaps shots it all the way across the other end of the rink, and it beats down his fist.
And then after that,
And then after he
pulls off
wins,
that jersey to reveal a Blues jersey. And then announces that he's
But
the new
then his jersey melts off, and it turns out he's actually wearing an Oilers jersey.
um, or just Luke Robitaille comes out of the stands and scores goals.
He does the thing, makes sports.
He does that thing. One thing, if it does go to 7, Quick won't be able to make quick moves on the road. It'll be quick moves at home.
Oh yeah, this will be the first time they actually have home advantage, isn't it?
Yep. Kings had to play at home for game 1 and 2.
But what about Kings versus the Kings?
Sacramento Kings?
All the Kings, all the time.
One
See,
thing
like now that
no,
we
go ahead.
have this is gonna be a really bad joke, so now I feel bad for interrupting you. But now that we have the LA Kings versus King Henrik, I can't do the joke anymore where I tell the opposing team to sign Jamie Lannister since he's a Kingslayer.
There will be regicide.
There is a king in the north, kind of.
I guess that'd be Henrik.
Yep.
Yeah. I was always hoping all along for that king in the north to be in Montreal.
Nah.
It's more King of the Coast. It's like King of the West Coast, King of the East Coast. Except the Kings of the West Coast is the whole
Pretty
team.
much. King of California.
Hockey, there is no north and south, since you know the south is just useless.
East Coast, West Coast. One thing that annoys me though about this series is all the East Coast, West Coast talk that I'm seeing whenever I watch SportsCenter in the morning. It's like, okay, we get it. You guys are finally talking about hockey, but please do it in a manner that's about the game, not so much about this being LA against New York. I get it. You want to talk about the Lakers. You want to talk about the Dodgers. You want to talk about the Yankees. You want to talk about, actually, no one wants to talk about the Mets. We get it. Just talk about the series itself.
Oh, once I saw, how penalties were being called against the Habs and not against the Rangers, I made a New York, LA tinfoil hat as a joke.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on
I
Twitter.
thought it was a joke, and then it turned out to be real.
Tinfoil hat time.
I don't really believe in it, but it was amusing for the time being. And then I used the foil because I believe in recycling.
I mean, the alternative to a New York LA series would be like either the Islanders or the Anaheim Ducks playing each other, or Devils and Ducks playing each other. It's like, oh, it's New York, but it's not really New York.
It's Brooklyn, Long Island.
It's Long Island. People in Brooklyn don't like being considered part of Long Island, even though they are on Long Island geographically.
Geography never counts. It's how
Yeah.
you feel.
It's so true, especially when it comes to New York.
I mean, it's even true in Atlanta. So I've always thought, if other places are gonna lose their ECHL teams, they need to bring one here so that we have, the highway that goes around Atlanta. So, one's already outside, so you need one inside that highway, and then you have a battle that never ends. I think it's the perfect marketing for them.
Um,
Boy.
well,
We did have a couple of English. We did have a couple of other questions. Definitely did not forget how to speak for a few seconds there. My bad. Um, Another one from Pace Falm. He says, misfortune. All the goalies are suddenly injured. Which head coach in the finals would you rather want in pad? So that would be Vigneault or friggin'
Daryl
Sutter.
Sutter. Can we include assistant coaches in this?
If you know them, go for it.
I'm looking up the assistant coaches.
Oh, you're actually doing research? I thought this was just a joke question.
No, I was on Wikipedia before, so it's like I can't find it, but I don't know, something about Daryl Sutter that would be intimidating, like especially with his like old man
His
stare and
faces!
his
His
jolly
faces are
speak.
terrifying enough without a mask on. Just imagine if he had one on.
I don't think Daryl
It would
Sutter
just be
would
the
wear a
eyes.
mask. He doesn't look like he would wear a mask. He would just
He
stare
would
you
just
down.
he would just give the puck the blue steel and it would just stop dead in its tracks.
He'll just stare you down with that Daryl Sutter face and just give you this look of like, I wouldn't do that if I were you, son.
I guess everyone just thinks Vigneault is too friendly looking.
I mean, Vigneault looks kind of like with his gum chewing, like he should be in the mafia. Especially with his sideburns. He has a very like 70s look, but no, he's too friendly looking. But it could work in his advantage where he'll be like, yeah, you could score in this net, and then he'll just stop it at the last second and go, haha, not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he doesn't have the same, like, passive aggressive look to him, but if you led him on long enough, he might be the same way.
Or I think Glenn Sather would just come from the stands and take over in net.
Rick DiPietro just magically heals him his injury and dies last split second to make the save.
And somehow Marty
Wow,
Baron is
what am I
left out.
saying? DiPietro's not even on the Rangers. DiPietro's on the Islanders. Wow, whoa.
Yeah.
He's got a serious brain fart.
But is he really on
They
the
could bring back Marty Baron.
Oh my god. As much as I like Thomas Hurdle, I just feel bad for Martin Biron.
Yeah. And then somehow Thomas Hurdle gets traded during the series to the Kings for a short loan and ruins Marty
Thomas
Baron.
Hurdle retires out of embarrassment and becomes an analyst on TSN.
That even hurts me, and I'm not a Sharks fan.
Uh, or
Well, you're not
just,
choking in this podcast, though.
I mean, it doesn't look like she's chewing on a hockey stick, which leads to the Sharks choking.
Does feeling bad really mean you have to choke? No.
Poor Sharks.
Well, does choking ever feel good? Don't answer that, Cheryl.
But
There's no answer there.
sick reference, bro.
Phrasing. Yo, guys, did you know that you can drink lava?
No.
The catch is, you can only drink lava once.
How?
Sorry, I just have Tumblr open.
Are you making Tumblr jokes?
I'm sorry.
Sharp answer that was really good. And no, hold on, let me look back at Tumblr. Your Java chip Frappuccino privileges have been revoked. They don't even mean anything. I feel like there was like this really great punchline, and then it was just never searched out. Listen to this music.
Sorry, I just... Ever since Mario Kart 8 came out, there's just been a bunch of videos of, like, Luigi fucking around in that game, and he's just fucking staring down everyone, and it's hilarious. I don't know why. Did we ever figure out where Ben went?
No. I feel like we should text them.
Well, I'm the Canadian with a Canadian phone and a Canadian phone plan, so I feel like
Oh.
that'd be bad for me for, like, long distance reasons.
I guess I could text them. No.
Also, I'm not really a long distance type of guy. Ladies.
Well, now I know. Though you're a Leafs fan, so that says a lot.
You like the Habs, and you're not even from, like, Canada.
So?
You like the Thrashers. You like the Atlanta Thrashers.
What about the
But guess
Atlanta
what? They don't
Flames?
exist anymore.
That's why I don't like them anymore. You can't like something that doesn't exist. What's your problem?
Sorry, I started reading Twitter. What?
Well, you can't insult me if you're not gonna pay attention.
Yeah, I was afraid that if I podcasted with a Habs fan, we'd eventually start, like, squabbling. And it appears we have come to that point. Oh no.
Oh god.
I'm never, ever letting the Drake song on the Starbucks playlist play again while I'm at work.
Yo, man, don't blame me when you lose all your customers, because customers love to hear Drake.
No, they don't. Not at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
don't
kind
know,
of
man.
annoying.
Actually, it would be kind of painful if, like, you come in, like, at 6 a.m. to Starbucks to get your drink, and you hear over the speakers Drake soothingly cooing, "Just hold on, we're going home," when, in fact, you're not going home. You're going to work. You're going to work for several hours, like 8 hours.
That's
That is
exactly
now
it.
holding on to go home.
And then you're telling me go to bed, but I have to listen to Drake for another 4 hours.
Yo, not my problem. You guys have a terrible soundtrack.
No, it is. Because you're a Leafs fan, it's all your fault.
And the Islanders
I
fan
like
just
your,
sits out on the sideline.
I like your usage of logic here. Let's all pretend to be Rangers fans and make fun of Andrew.
I don't want to
Hey,
pretend to be
hey.
I hate the Rangers. They broke my feelings.
Hey, guess who's in the Stanley Cup Finals?
No
Not
one.
the
There are no Stanley
Islanders.
Cup final games.
Wow, Ron, that joke is so original. I'm pretty sure my great grandfather heard that one.
Hey, you know what else your great grandfather heard? That the Habs aren't in the finals either.
Winning a Stanley Cup.
Oh, how about that?
How did the Maple Leafs do in the playoffs this year?
I don't
Oh,
know. What else play?
yeah. What are the playoffs?
Honestly,
Maple Leafs
honestly,
wouldn't know.
I'm pretty fucking numb to all the Leafs smack talk. Like,
Hey, do you know how you know it's spring? The Leafs are out.
haha, haha.
You know when the Leafs come out in Atlanta? February. It's about right.
Isn't Canada still like mid-thaw in February?
Thawing and February do not mix.
Uh,
At the earliest, if you're super lucky, and if the weather is freaking weird, maybe March, but typically not till April. If you're unlucky, we basically didn't get any warm weather until May. And then it suddenly got really hot. I'm not used to the weather right now. It's weird.
But you
I
still
could go
have to own
outside.
shovels so that you can get out of your driveway.
Canada, man.
All you have
It's
to do here
weird.
is look outside and you say, oh, it snowed. And then you don't have to go anywhere. And you just wait for it to magically melt by itself. And then you go on with your life. It's the best. But you don't get a hockey team.
yeah, I don't think Atlanta's getting another hockey team for a long time.
But if they do, I say you combine Flames and Thrashers together and you get the
The Atlanta Thrashing Flames.
No, you get the Atlanta Flashers. Given all the sports clubs in this city, plus that,
Ha.
perfect team.
I just find it funny that when the Flames played Atlanta, the reason why they were called the Flames was named for General Sherman's burning of Atlanta in 1864.
I mean, why not? Everything's on fire all the time. This morning, there was a semi-truck on fire, blocking the entire interstate. It's an everyday occurrence, and it would make a great team name. Again.
Wow. That's It sounds like you're promoting the Atlanta Tourism Board. Come to Atlanta.
Yes.
Everything's on fire. No,
Everything's
literally,
on fire,
everything
and
is
you
on
can
fire.
see where your Western Canada team started. But you won't get there on time because there's a truck on fire.
So I started watching Luigi videos again.
What
It's
exactly?
apparently a thing. Mario Kart 8. It literally came out like in the last few days, and Luigi apparently fucking stares people down all the time, and apparently this is a thing. And there's a bunch of videos of it. Look it up, guys.
What is it, just like Mario Kart 8, Luigi? Search that.
Yep.
I'm not
Yeah, he just-
looking
he just-
anything up because I have the original Mario Kart and there's no internet yet with that. I
Sucks to be
refuse.
you.
Actually, this is actually a question I got. With the Rangers, do you guys think for the finals they'll make Martin St. Louis honorary captain?
I don't think they'll bother with the
No.
captain.
You don't see it?
Nah.
So just keep up with the whole awkward team thing.
I feel like if there's someone who would basically be captain at this point, it would be Lundqvist. I feel like I don't know if they ever give the goalie if they ever let the goalie be the first to raise the cup, but I feel like that'd be the case, and if not, then it'd be one of the three alternates.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Rangers win the Stanley Cup, it's going to be basically Henrik Lundqvist's doing. So if he's the first to raise it, that wouldn't surprise me.
And honestly, that's probably how it should be, but
Yeah.
Let's say go for this
they
whole
gotta get
awkward
first.
team thing again. Like everyone grab a side of the cup and they'll like carry around like one giant conglomerate around the ice. But yeah, and then take that awkward family photo again, like they did in at the end of Game 6.
Oh yeah.
There's a photo? For what? I don't even know.
The Prince whatever trophy, the Eastern Conference trophy, basically.
No, there wasn't a trophy. Hockey ended. I saw their picture. It was really nice.
Um, Looking at these pictures of Elaine Vigneault, that man does smile a lot.
Who?
Elaine Vigneault, AV.
Vigneault?
Yeah, there it is, Vigneault. Man,
I heard you say Vigneault, and I was like, what? Are you trying to say friggin' Ben Bishop?
Yes, when I say Vigneault, it translates to Ben Bishop.
Y'all cracker-ass Americans can't speak no French.
Back in March, I watched a game with my mom, who is one of the playoff Blackhawks fans, and she told me that.
Oh my god. What did you tell her? Oh my god. What? I'm waiting for the story to finish. I, I, I don't know how the story's gonna finish. What happened? Where is everyone? Andrew, are you still alive?
Yeah, I'm here. Wait, why did Amanda leave? Whoa.
Did you just like zone out for a second there? Because Amanda was in the middle of telling a story. She
I
was
was
saying something
listening
about
to
her
this.
mom being.
Yeah, I was listening to that. I was on a separate page, away from the chat page, looking at stuff. Oh, that's
Like,
weird.
she was talking, and then she just died. That's weird.
I don't.
And now she's been resurrected.
It
Oh yeah, your
crashed.
camera's on.
Oh,
Nice like bed thing.
that's a nice wall. I like that wall.
That's great. I'm trying to figure out how to
Oh,
do
that's a
that.
messy floor.
Yo, clean your room, man.
Yeah.
I'm working
So
on
I know you're in the middle of
life
telling a
there.
story about your mom, but does your mom ever like tell you to like clean your room? Because you should
Oh
clean
yeah,
your room.
she's gonna be here in 3 days, and that's all I'm gonna hear. Not as much
Mama
dog.
Deagle being like, Amanda, why don't you clean your room?
I was just trying to stairs because I'm trying to get something together to send someone. Thanks a lot.
Yo, so are you gonna finish your story? Something about your mom, the Blackhawks fan?
My mom, the Blackhawks fan, says Tyrion is a terrible coach because he doesn't get angry. and he just rubs his chin. And so
Tyrion,
that's
in
what
my opinion, Tyrion just always looks like he's about to break out crying. Just always looks like he's about to cry.
and that's a problem because according to her, that is not being angry enough. And he needs to be angry. And apparently that's ball grabbing angry. That's the level of angry he needs.
Does that include crotch grabbing too? Because
I
that's
can't see him doing that.
a Coach Q favorite.
I would pay to see it, but I can't see it actually happening. Like, I can see them like gathering people who would pay $100 and then him be like, no.
Honestly, I can't imagine Tyrion conveying any emotion other than like vague sadness.
Big sadness and confusion. That's all he has. And he'll switch up the lines. That's it. You think... That's what gets me about people who are like, oh, Vanna complaining about chemistry. Well, he's never given the chance to have any sort of chemistry because it's all about changing lines and then looking sad.
Looks like those lines are pretty blurred. That was a terrible joke.
No, I will not stand for that.
Get out.
I think time to wrap up this podcast.
Yeah, if you're gonna go to that line, then it's time to end.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Every time I look at Therian, though, he looks kind of like Fred Armisen. Just like an older, what Fred Armisen's going to look like when he's older.
Oh, why does that have to be? I'm never going to unsee that.
Dude, it's just there. So, in actualness, actual words.
English?
Yes, English. It's 1:47 in the morning. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, we should probably.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Let's
Remember when we had podcasts that would like start at like midnight, like at a normal time, and they'd actually go to almost 2 a.m. Apparently we couldn't shut up.
Good times. Good times.
When Blake didn't mysteriously disappear.
Maybe he's still stuck in that tunnel. But in all serialness, let's wrap this candle up. So this has been a very late edition of our Hockey After Hour. You can follow us on Twitter at Our HockeyCast. You can follow us. I mean, you can subscribe to our subreddit, Our HockeyCast. You can visit us online to watch back episodes of this show and other shows like Summary Sunday, Hump Day Hockey, the Puck and Awesome podcast on at our website, ourhockeycast.com. As for our host, you can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Paddock. You can follow Ron on Twitter at RonRonInABox. You can follow Amanda on Twitter at Fabuloshi. And for our two hosts who somehow are not here, you can follow Ben on Twitter at Sardines_Packed and Britt on Twitter at Pitt Pens Pats. Um, and that about wraps it up for us tonight. We will be back Thursday talking about some actual games, as this is a lull in between the end of the Western Conference Final and the start of Game 1 on Wednesday. So on Thursday there'll be some actual hockey talk.
Yeah.
And that about does it for us. Good night. Good luck as the world turns, and peace out.